Okay, I'm going to show you how to use a graphing calculator to graph what we call the line of best fit. So I'm going to go through the steps on the video and then I'll remind you of them when you do it yourself, but I wanted everybody to watch it one time. So the first thing you're going to do is you need to go enter this data into your calculator. So we're going to do that under what we call the statistics key. It's called a stat key. So you press stat. You can watch what happens in the window up here. And we have to go down to number 4 and tell it to clear the list out. So we're going to highlight number 4 and then I'm going to hit enter. And then I need to tell it what lists to clear out. There are a lot of lists stored in the calculator. And the lists I want to clear out are list 1 and list 2. They're L1 and L2 written in yellow above these 1 and 2 keys. So you're going to have to hit your second and then your 1 and you'll see list 1 appeared. And then you have to hit your comma and then you're going to hit your second and then number 2 and it'll say list 2. So I'm going to tell my calculator to clear list 1 and list 2 and then I'm going to hit enter and it'll say done. So my lists are cleared out. Now I'm going to use that same statistics key and hit it again and I'm going to go in and put in my new information. Put in my new information. So that's under edit. So under edit, I'm going to put in this information. You won't be able to see it because I'm going to move it off camera, but I'm going to put this information in list 1 and list 2. So I'm going to go, it's edit is highlighted, so I just hit enter. And there's my list 1 and my list 2. So I'm going to scroll over to list 1, and I'm just going to go down the year column, and I'm going to put in 1940 and 1950 and 1960 and 1970, 1980, 1990, and 2000. And then I'm going to scroll over to my list 2 column and I'm going to enter in the same order as on the sheet of paper the numbers. So 47100, enter. 63100, enter. 76900, enter. 89900. I hope I haven't screwed up, because if you screw up one number, the whole thing is going to get messed up. So I might double check and make sure that everything is in there right. Okay. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and set the window of my calculator to match these numbers. These numbers are really high. These are my X numbers and these are my Y numbers. So I'm going to go set my calculator to window so it'll put those amounts in the window. My lowest X number in the list is 1940, so I'm just going to put in 1900. And my highest X value is 2000, so I'm going to put in 2020. You want to go a little bit higher and a little bit lower. 20. And because that's going to take up about 120 numbers on my X-axis, I always take that number and divide it by 10. And so this is going to count by tens for me. 120 divided by 10 is actually 12. So I'm going to have my X-axis count by 12s. My Y minimum number, the smallest number on my Y-axis is 47,100. So I'm going to put in 45,000. Oops, I'm in the wrong spot. And my Y maximum number looks like it's 207,400. So I'm going to put in 210,000. And that is a lot. I'm going to, it looks like, let's see, I need to grab another calculator. What I'd like to do is subtract those numbers. And see how wide everything has to be. So I'm going to take 21,000 and I'm going to subtract 45,000. I'm going to get 165,000. So I'm going to divide that by 10. This is just my way of doing it. Oops, I need to go back. There we go. Let me hit enter. I'm going to divide that by 10. So this says I should count by 16,500. So that's what I'm actually going to type in. This one seems like really weird. But I think I'll count by 16,500. All right, that'll work. So now my window is set to show only those numbers in this size screen. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure what I call my stat plot is on. This makes me graph dots, and I want these to be dots. So you have to turn your stat plot on. It's written in yellow, so you hit yellow, and then you hit this key. Oops. I got to get out of there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I'm going to hit it. Yeah, I went there. And I can see that my stat plot is on, so that's good. If it wasn't on, I would hit enter, and then I would highlight on because it would have been off. If your calculator won't go to a different screen, all you have to do is hit second and then quit. Second quit will take you back and clear your all screen out. So I'm going to do a second quit and clear my screen out. Okay. I've already got my list is in there. You can see my list is still in there. My window is still set to what I set it at. My stat plot is on. So if all goes well, I'm going to hit graph, and you're going to see the dots graphed. And there they are. Those are the dots that you should have graphed earlier when you did the bell ringer. Okay, so now I'm going to tell my calculator to go and find the equation of a line of best fit. My calculator is going to find the best fitting line to go through there. And I also do that under statistics. So I'm going to go over to statistics, and then I'm going to slide this over to calculate. And then I'm going to go down to number 4, which says LINREG. That stands for linear regression. And if you notice, it says AX plus B. That's your MX plus B. So this is going to give you the linear equation in slope-intercept form. And I'm going to hit enter. And then it says, do you want the linear regression? And I'm going to hit enter again, and it's going to give me my M and my B. So there's the equation. Those are the factors of the equation of my line. So if you'll notice in here, A stands for your slope. So the slope of this line was 2,507 point yada yada yada. My B is minus 482, what's a big huge number? 482,8442.857. The R squared number is called my correlation coefficient, and I really want my R squared number to be between 1 and -1, and the closer it is to 1 and -1, the better it is. This one is not very close. It's okay, but it's not the greatest in the world. So I'm going to go in now and tell my calculator to draw the line that would be y equals mx plus b, using this is my m and this is my b. And this is stored in my calculator, so this is the one last complicated thing you have to do. You go to y equals, because your line is going to be a y equals line. And then you type this word, this vars key right here. And you go down to statistics. It's going to go into the statistics and get that information. And then you go over to EQ, which means equation. You hit enter. And it appeared right in my y equals line. Here's my slope. This is my m, x, plus this is all the b. And now I'm going to hit graph, and here comes the line that best fits the data. There's the line that best fits the data. So if you're asked to write the equation of a line of best fit or a linear regression line, you want to use this information for your line. And you would write y equals 2507.14x minus 482,8442.86 and be done with it.